Hello everybody, this is Elissa from Mink Arts and Crafts, and today I have a post review for you guys. So this is going to be a post review for Lady Luck by Dreamer Designs, and this was my canvas for the Hispanic artist DP along, and I was super excited because I didn't start this kit until I got back from vacation, and I started out on the 5th of October, and I finished it just in time for the end of the event, which would have ended on the 15th of October, and I finished this on the 14th of October, so like just in the nick of time. So I was super excited about that. So this kit, I'll get into a little bit of the details for it. It is a 40 by 50 full drill poured glue round drill canvas. It has 56 colors and 6 ABs that it was charted with. And it took me 13 hours and 37 minutes to complete this canvas. So I did decide, I kind of did all of the charted colors for it, except for the ones that I decided I wanted to bling up. So this, you can see, is the image. It is by Romi Lerda, and I loved the image. So I thought this was perfect because it was a smaller size kit that I wanted to kind of start because I knew I wouldn't have the entire month to work on it. And I'm still working on my flower delivery comparison series, which is taking a lot of time because those are squares, and squares take me forever to do. So I wanted to work on something that would be fast, hence this one with rounds, in that short time that I had coming off of vacation and trying to get back into the groove of being back to work, and then trying to make sure I got it done in time for the end of the event, which I did. So I did add some bling to it. So I did swap out some colors, and I marked the symbols, but I didn't mark which one in here it was. But I have them, I'll show you, like, as you can see, I have plenty of drills left over. I'm going to move my specials. For this one, since I did the specials kind of at the very end, I didn't kit the specials up into here. So I'm going to go over the drills first so you can see. As you can see, there are plenty of drills and plenty of colors left over. Some of them don't look like there's a lot of drills in here, but that's because this is a small canvas, so there's not a lot of drills for some of the colors to begin with. So some of them, like this AB, was used in only a handful of spots in this canvas. It, like, literally, this AB is only found in here, like used only in this small section right here. So they didn't have to give you a lot to begin with. There was a couple of the colors, like this one here and this one here, where I used a lot, like that one was used in a lot of the background. And I did have a moment where I was like, am I gonna run out of this? Because there aren't, but there's still leftovers. And same thing with this color here. There's a lot of this kind of in the upper corner and then in her hair. But again, I didn't end up running out. So that wasn't an issue, but I'm always like, am I going to run out? This was another one that I felt like I was going to run out of with her hair colors, but I never actually did. And there's still a fair number of drills in there. So I never actually ran out of anything. There's plenty of colors left over. This was charted with 6 ABs. So purple was in this area, so you can kind of get a sneak peek of the kit here. The purples were right here, were some of the ABs right there. The white AB that you can see was kind of right here in her face. You've got some white there, and then in her eye. There was this other, the AB211, because there was this was AB01 and AB08. The AB, which I don't know what that translates to in DMC. This other purple was also in the same area. So some was here on the edge and some was kind of on this down. So I can't remember which was in which spot, but similar areas. This was a paler one, so it was probably more on the tips right through there. AB666, this one is a very, very prominent color in this kit, this red AB. You have a little bit up here charted in her headband, and then this actually makes up the bulk of what you see as this deep red right here. This AB kind of around the swath that you see in her jacket that she's wearing right there, or her blouse that she's got on. That's at AB. And then you've got this pale pink AB right here, AB 3609, which is also in, and also you've got that, actually the next one. So that pink AB is also in, like, a little bit splashed right there. And yeah, so a little bit in some of those areas for that AB 3609. Very pale in that area there. A little bit here, and like I said, a little bit in some of those other areas. And then the last AB was this other shade of like a pinkish red, 3801. And that one you see a little bit in some of her lips. And then down in this swath right here, the center of her blouse, a little bit on the shoulder, and then a little bit up into right here as well. So that's where you find those colors. So I did do some swaps because I did decide I wanted to add some extra bling. So I'm going to set these off to the side. Well, I guess I could actually show you and compare them from here to there with the drills that I added. I didn't add a ton of extra bling, but I did want to add bling, and the only space that I added the bling was on all of this, the gold and brown motif. I decided I wanted bling in the background. So any of this gold and brown motif and a little bit, just a little bit on her blouse of that golden brown motif is where I added some of the bling, and then a little bit into her chopsticks as well. So the first ones that I did 3, that one's kind of ripping on the label from how I store them, but I added these 3 pixie dust drills, which is DP with Sparkler's version of the fairy dust drills. So I did a 742, 3371, and 712. So the that one's kind of container is kind of dangling. So I added this lightest color, which you can see right here, is what I swapped out for the DMC 739. That's the white that you see in the motif. I'll pull that down. You can see that anywhere that you see the white in this motif area, that is this pixie dust drill. Then I also did this 742 pixie dust, which is a swap for DMC 728. And basically there was no direct match for most of these. I basically was like, what do I have that is close? So I kind of pulled out all the colors that made up the motif, pulled them out, looked at them, and was like, okay, what is a close match? And I was like, hey, that works, it's close, we're gonna use that. Same thing with this. I was like, okay, this is close enough to this, kind of like a creamy-ish color, we're gonna use it. It's like it doesn't have to be exact, it's close enough, we're going with it. Same thing, this is 3371. I'm like, that's close enough to 938, like a nice chocolatey brown. So I went with it. So that's kind of how I've started doing my bling. I don't do a single, unless it's like a 5200 or a 3865, I don't tend to do a 1-for-1 swap with my bling as far as like a symmetrical DMC for DMC swap. I tend to just kind of eyeball it and go with what looks good. So you can see this 742 pixie dust is kind of this yellowish color that you're seeing right around next to all of the white. You'll see that mostly on this lighter toned side over here. Don't think there's any of it really on the right side. It's mostly just over on the left. Yeah, there's none of it on the upper right, and I don't think there's any of it on the bottom right. It's literally all right over here in this lighter tone. So that's where that 742 is. And then the chocolatey brown pixie dust is all throughout. That one is a lovely one that creates, you can kind of see if I bring it up close, you can see that pixie dust right in here as that chocolatey brown right there. Yeah, there we go. You can see that pixie dust right there. So there's pixie dust. It's next to a metallic, so it's like you have like a 310, that 3371 pixie dust, and then you have a metallic like I think a metallic bronze next to it. So you've got like 3 different types of drills right there, because I used a whole variety of things in here. I think the only thing I don't have in here are crystals, because I didn't have it. I was like, I don't feel like dragging my crystals out, they're buried, so I just went with these. So you've got that dark one kind of all around, like right through here, up in this area for some of the pixie dust. And then mostly it's kind of down in this area where that dark chocolatey pixie dust, and then a little bit up in this area. So those are the pixie dust ones. And then I did the metallic bronze for $8.98. So I kind of replaced this color here, this dark brown, with this metallic bronze. So I felt those would be a good match. And that's what I did for all throughout, and that's like a pretty broad region for the metallic bronze. That's in a lot of areas on this area here, and then this area right up in here. It's in a lot of this canvas for that one. And then you'll see it also down around this area. The next ones that I had are all sparkler, and then I had a metallic gold as well, which to me felt very much like a sparkler, but there was the metallic gold, which is in some of these accents. You see this bright accent here, 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 like these bright spots that are like very shimmery. That's the metallic gold over in here, and then it's also metallic gold in these light spots on this side, adding a nice accent that you can see. So like as I bring this up, you can see that's the metallic gold that we're seeing all right there. That's all metallic gold. Up in this area, we've got metallic gold. That's all the metallic gold right around in there. Over on this side, you've got the metallic gold next to those fairy dust. And then you've got all of those fun colors. So that was my metallic gold, which replaced the E7, which was the 781, which is this color. So definitely not a complete match. It was more of like a completely different color, but I liked the look that it gave. And then I also used coffee sparklers, copper sparklers, and gold sparklers. So those are the next ones that I did. I've completely, actually those did not replace that. That replaced 2, and 2 was 780. So I used the metallic gold for 780, and I used gold sparklers for this color here. Because they were very similar, because they had both. So I used not all of the, not everything was a complete replacement for coffee sparklers. And that's because I ran out of coffee sparklers, so I used what I had, and then I called it a day. And then I used the rest of them. I used the actual drill of this for the rest of it. So that coffee sparkler is going to be a deep one, mostly kind of down in this region here, and then up in that area there. And then the other 2 are copper sparklers and gold sparklers. So you can see there's the copper and the gold, a little bit of the deeper tones, and those replaced 4, and so the copper replaced this one, and then the gold sparklers replaced this one here. And those you will see as we look. You can see here is our copper sparkler. That's a copper sparkler right in there. And then our gold sparklers are going to be also kind of scattered throughout, similar, like the gold sparklers are scattered in similar, like, so you can see there's a gold sparkler there. That's a gold sparkler next to the metallic gold. So they're very, very similar, that gold sparkler and then that metallic gold. They're very hard when you look at them unless you look very closely to tell them apart. So that's all the bling that I added as I blinged the thingy up. So now I'm going to talk, I know that was a long spiel about what I did bling wise, but I know a lot of people are very curious about how did I bling it up. So I wanted to go over that. Now I'm going to kind of go into my thoughts about this canvas. So this is one of the creepy soft backings. I don't care for the creepy soft backings. One of the things that I noticed, so the drills I didn't have any issues with the drills. They do have some faceting to them. I had no trash. Don't know if I didn't look to see whether they're acrylic or resin or anything like that. I'd have to look back on the website to tell. As you can see, they lay down really well. I did notice that this drill field is much, much tighter than I'm used to. So it was a very, very tight drill field. It was nice that they didn't have any of those guide circles behind. So if you don't place perfectly, you're good because you don't see any of the funky guide circles behind, which is nice. So I like that about it. I did notice with that really tight drill field, you had to make sure you placed really well. Otherwise, you'd have issues with the drills wanting to kind of pop up unless you sat there and really used your brayer and really rolled it down. So that was something that the drill field was significantly tighter than I'm used to for a round canvas, which caused the drills to kind of want to pop up a little bit, and I had to be very precise with my placement. So that's why you see they look a lot straighter than they normally do for me, because I had to be so much more precise than I normally am. I'm not normally this precise in my placement. It looks really good when they're that precise. Like, that looks really doggone good for me, placing wise. Like, I never place that well. It also made it trickier when we're talking about some of the sparklers, because sometimes the sparklers are a little bit bigger, which usually isn't as much of an issue because you can kind of fit them in and there's enough play and enough wiggle room that they fit well. It did cause a little bit more of an issue, and I had to really like finesse and finagle, and there's certain ones that as I look through, I'm like, okay, I really have to force that down, like really get it down and snap it into place, which is not something that I normally have as much of an issue with on a round drill canvas like this. But I had to really work to get some of them to fit in place. Like I said, I didn't have any trash. I like the fact that they do have some beveling and some like facets to their drills, because I don't like the really smooth drills. There is plenty of shimmer and shine to these drills. As you can see, like looking at that, there is so much like shimmer and shine to it. The glue was a little bit like, did have some slipperiness to it, but I didn't have an issue with everything sticking to it. Everything stuck really well. I was pleased with the, like at first I was kind of like, are these going to be okay as far as like the ABs? Because they felt totally different than some of the ABs that I've worked with. But like, as I'm sitting here and looking at it, like when I don't have the light directly on it, you can see the shimmer on because this whole swath right here, this is pure AB. That's like 2 different shades of AB right there. And it looks so good. Like that AB shimmer right there is gorgeous. It looks so good. And I love this like extra bling from these sparklers that I added in right there, and like the metallics down in this area. So you've got some metallics and some sparklers right in this area, and it just looks so good. Like these are some of the metallic bronze, and then I've got some bronze sparklers, some metallic bronze and bronze sparklers, and those look really good. And then there's some fairy dust down there as well as the ABs, and that just really, that little shimmer that you get with it, it just adds this really good added, like this extra depth down into her blouse that looks so good. So overall, I'm actually like pretty pleased with it. This is my first Dreamer designs that I've done. And I actually, like, you know, I've got 3 others from Dreamer Designs, because the only ones that I have from Dreamer Designs are the Romi Lerdas, that I really liked the most when I picked up the order, and I wanted to start with this one, which was the smallest one. I've got, I think, 1 other round, I think, and then 2 squares for Romi Lerda to work on from Dreamer Designs. But overall, really, I was not, I didn't think it was too bad. There, like the rendering, I felt like was done well. There's nothing like super off or anything that I found with the rendering. I feel like they did an excellent job with the shading for her hair to give you that feel that you're looking at that really dark hair, because when you're looking at black hair and painting black hair, one of the great ways to render black hair, and well, even just when you're painting black hair, it's usually blue or purple to give it that shimmer and that shine to make it look like you're actually painting black without painting black. And you can see this is what the original artwork looks like, and I feel like they did a great job actually like keeping it true to form, as far as like keeping it true to the original. Like they did a great job of that. And I feel like when you look at it, you're like, oh yeah, that does look very much like the original. I'm not seeing anything like that super stands out. The only thing that I don't like, and it's something super small, like it's not even anything that's an issue really, it's just like something super finessey and small, is right here at her nose. I don't like how we have her eyebrow comes down and then it fades in color, but I feel like they faded the color too much into this like light blue right here. I feel like they could have gone like a shade darker than this, or just kept it the same color as this color right here. I don't like how they went to a really light blue-gray right here. That's the only thing that I don't like. Other than that, everything else rendering-wise, I felt like was perfect. I didn't have an issue with any of it. It turned out really well. I love the size of this. I feel like this is the perfect size The other canvases that I have are significantly larger than this, and I really wish they would do more in this size right here, because this is like a perfect size. I'm like, why do we always have to go massive with the kits when this right here is a perfect size? Like, everything is clear, everything is rendered beautifully. Like, there is no need for something that's extremely massive, and like, you don't need like a 60 by 80 when this 40 by 50 looks incredible. So anyways, that's just my thoughts on that. But overall, yeah, I'm very pleased with how this turned out. And I like how my bling added that little extra to the motif in the background. It was kind of how I wanted it to turn out, with some of those gold tones and everything else. So anyways, yes, this is Lady Luck by Romi Lerda from Dreamer Designs, and this was my submission for Hispanic Artist DP Along in honor of Hispanic Heritage Month. So other than that, I will go ahead and let you guys go for today. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.